Hi everyone, my name is Niranjan Pandey and I'm going to start this topic calendar here. So calendar is a kind of topic that is very easy and you will find very interesting to learn because you will be using it in your day-to-day life. Okay, so some of the fundas will be very interesting to you because very quickly you will be able to answer the questions of calendar without using the calendar actually, without seeing the calendar. And this is something that you will use in your everyday life. So you will be able to relate the topic easily. Now, if I talk about the importance of the topic, so generally one question you can see in some of the placement papers and some of the exams like SSC CGL, SSC JE, CHSL, and this is the kind of exams. Okay, not in you can say like CAT and GMAT. They do not ask this kind of question from the calendar specifically, but some smaller exams you can find. So let's start the topic, and before I move on the topic, let me share with you what are the course flow or what are the objectives of the lesson that I will be creating in calendar. So I will be creating I think 3 and 4 lectures, 3 or 4 videos you can say, and in those videos I will try to cover the introduction to the calendar. In introduction part I will be discussing about the history, then I will be discussing about the calendar approximations. There has been some approximations to the calendar. Then I will explain the concept behind the century years and non-century years and some related topics like how to check whether a century year leap or not, whether a non-century year leap or not. After that, we will come to finding ordinary year and leap year. What is ordinary year? What is leap year? How we check for the leap year? How we check for the ordinary year and so on. Then I will introduce the concept of odd day. It's very important to learn odd day concept. So in odd day, if I ask you, let's suppose today is Monday. So what day will be after 100 days? So within few seconds, you will be able to answer when you are thorough with the odd day concept. And similarly, after that, this is very interesting and important topic of calendar. I think the majority of questions lie in this range only. Finding the day of any given date is very, very important, believe me. So like if any date is given to you, and the question will ask you to find the day of that given date. Let's suppose I give you 15th August 1985. So I ask you what was the day on 15th August 1985. So without using the calendar, without using any calculator, you will be solving this question and telling the answer within a minute. Okay. So it will be very interesting to you when you learn this thing. Then we come to the repetition of same calendar year. So as we know that we have just 12 months and these 12 months will be somewhat repeated. Okay, we have 365 days in 12 months. So definitely this will repeat somewhere as the mathematics goes on. So we will have like which calendar year will repeat itself. Like this year is 2020, when the same year will repeat. Or we can say when we use the same calendar, okay, we can use the same calendar like 2020 ka calendar hai. The same calendar can be used in which year. That concept is known as repetition of same calendar year. And of course, at the last, we will be solving few miscellaneous problems from the calendar topic that has been asked in the placement papers like Tech Mahindra, Infosys and all. And then a few problems from the SSC and you can say competitive exams I will be taking. So I will try to cover all the important aspects of calendar in this course so that you need not to bother about any other website, any book or any other different material. This whole video lecture will be sufficient for this course. Okay. So let's start the topic with the history. So although history is the part of the GS, अगर आपको calendar में history पढ़ना है तो you need to go and study under GS topic. But I will just brief about the history. So the calendar that we are using nowadays is actually a Julian calendar. Okay, so this calendar was introduced by the Julius Caesar in the 1st century BC, as it is written here. Julius का नाम सुना होगा आप सभी लोगों ने. He was an emperor of Rome. So he introduced the calendar actually the very first time, and that was the perfect calendar. It's not that the calendars were not there before Julius Caesar. I'm not saying that, but he introduced the very perfect calendar that was quite near to the approximated values of revolution of Earth around the sun, or it was synced with the solar system. Okay, as we know, the calendars has been synced with the astronomy. It's not like randomly anything has been decided. Okay, so astronomy से इसका थोड़ा सा link है, वो हम देखेंगे. Then there was some you can say modification that was done later on, some refinements had been done to this calendar, this Julian calendar. And finally, the most perfect calendar was introduced by this Pope Gregory XIII, and he introduced this calendar in 1582. So this calendar is known as Gregorian calendar. So nowadays, the calendar that we have been using is actually the Gregorian calendar, and it was the previously known as Julian calendar because Julius Caesar has introduced it. So Gregorian calendar, again, it is being modified nowadays also, like in 20th century, some of the modifications has been done. So what are the modifications? Why modification is being done? You will come to understand as the topic proceeds. So I do not go much into the depth of the history because that's not very important from aptitude point of view, but this history was required. I think this much was required. So let me share with you the screen so that I can introduce you of the topics. See, if I talk about the very first thing in calendar, the very first thing that comes in our mind is year, isn't it? How years are decided? Have you ever thought how the years are decided? How we see that there are 365 days or 366 days in a year. So generally, if you see, the earth revolves around the sun. We all know the earth revolves around the sun. And how much time it takes? So it takes approximately 365 days. And if I say exactly, so it is 365 days. And we can say after this 6 hours, nearly 365 days, 6 hours. Further, it's not actually correct. 365 days and 6 hours not actually correct. The exact value like 365 days, 5 hours, 48 minutes, and some seconds. So we cannot remember the whole thing actually, but we have approximately like 365 days and 6 hours. This is the time taken by Earth to revolve around the sun. And hence our year is nearly this time. Our year is nearly this time. 365 days time is known as 1 year. So year has been classified into two categories, or it is divided into two categories. One is a ordinary year. It's a simple year or ordinary year. We can say ordinary. And the second one is the leap year, isn't it? So you might have known about this thing. You already know this thing, but let me start with the very basic. So years have been classified in two parts, that is ordinary year and leap year. And we know that the ordinary year contains 365 days and leap year contains 366 days, isn't it? Leap year has 366 days. But why leap year has 366 days? Why this 1 year has been added? And you know, leap year comes after every 4 years. So this is the general, you can say conception that after every 4th year we get a leap year, but that's not true actually. We will come to know all these things. I will debunk a lot of myths here. See, if I talk about the exact time that Earth takes to revolve around the sun, so it is 365.2425. It is like this many days. If I convert this 5 hours, 48 minutes and some seconds, so nearly you will get this value 365.2425. So for the general calculation purpose, I have done some approximation. I was talking about the approximation. So this approximation we have done. We just left this part, 0.24 and 25 part I left. So I have taken 365 days. And these days are known as 365 days time is known as ordinary year. So इसको मैंने ordinary कह दिया. मैंने क्या किया? I just removed this 0.2425 part and just taken 365 and I told that okay, this is just an ordinary year. Okay, so I see that this is just an ordinary year. But this part you have removed. This part you are not taking into calculation. If I see you are removing this part every year, 0.2425. And it is approximately 0.25 in mathematics, and that is equal to 1 by 4. So can I say that every year you are just leaving 1 by 4th part of the day, because exactly it was 365.2425 days. So every year you are just leaving this part, you are not taking this part into calculation. 1 by 4th part of the day you are leaving. So after 1 year you left 1 by 4. After second year again 1 by 4 you left. Third year again 1 by 4 you left. But as soon as the 4th year comes, you leaving 1 by 4. So in 4th year there will be a difference of 1 complete day, because 1 by 4 multiplied with 4 it will give completely 1 day. So you cannot leave it now. Okay, one day is a big span of time. You cannot just leave it simply. So you need to add this one day into your calendar to match it with the astronomy. Okay, to match it with the astronomy effects. So that's why every fourth year we add this extra day, and every fourth year is known as leap year. That's why it is known as leap year. And this is why we classified the years into two categories, ordinary year and leap year. Let me summarize it very quickly. Because we have classified the years as 365 days, so we are leaving this 0.25 days every year. Okay, but this 0.25, or we can say the 1/4 part of the day, when you are leaving every year, in 4 years it will accumulate to one day. Okay, it is being accumulated. In 4 years it will become one day. So this one extra day that has been accumulated in the 4 year, you need to add into the calendar, and that's why it is known as a leap year. So a leap year has a 366 days, and where this extra day has been added, so we all know it is added in Feb, and that's why the leap Feb is nothing but of 29 days. ठीक है ना, जो लीप ईयर का जो फैब होता है वो 29 days का होता है. Then you can ask me the question why this has been added to fab. So there is no definite answer actually, there is no logical answer, but the answer can be given from the Roman actually. तो रोमन्स का जो कैलेंडर हुआ करता था, उसका जो फेब का मंथ था, जो सेकंड मंथ था, वो बहुत छोटा हुआ करता था, तो उन्होंने उसमें इस एक दिन को एक्स्ट्रा ऐड किया. सो रोमन्स ने इंट्रोड्यूस किया था काफी चीजें, तो उन्होंने अपने हिसाब से थोड़ा इंटरफेयर किया है कैलेंडर में. So I hope this idea is clear. Let's touch the different topic now. Okay, so I just introduce what is ordinary year, what is leap year, and how much time Earth take to revolve around the sun. That is 365.2425. अब ये याद रखेंगे. Now moving further, years again has been classified into two categories. We can further classify year into two categories. One is a century year. One is a century year, another one is a non-century year. Non-century years. Okay. So what are century year actually? Century years are those years that end with double zero. जिनके लास्ट में डबल जीरो आएगा उनको मैं सेंचुरी ईयर कहूंगा. And the year that do not end in double zero are known as non-century year. So take an example. So examples of century year can be like 1600, it can be like 1700, it can be like 2000. So all these years are ending in double zero, and that's why they are known as century years. Non-century years can be like 1976, it can be like 2020, it can be like 2016, and so on. So these kind of years are known as non-century years. Okay, so the idea about the century and non-century is clear. Now let me introduce a new topic here: how to check whether a year is leap or not. Okay, it's very important. How to check whether an year is leap or not. So it is a general conception that we see when an year is divisible by 4, we say it is a leap year. But that's not the true. That's not actually the whole story. It's true, but it's not the whole story. So let me introduce it. How you will check. See, when you need to check whether a year is leap or not, first you classify the number into two categories. Sorry, year into two categories. One is the century year, another one is a non-century year. Okay. So there is a different rule for century year and there is a different rule for non-century year. So every non-century year, if I need to check whether it's a leap or not, I will divide it by 4. It is only applicable for non-century year. Division by 4 is only applicable for non-century years. Okay, let's suppose I have given any year like 1956. And I ask you, this is a non-century year, check whether it is leap or not. So you will divide it by 4, and if you get the remainder 0, if you're getting remainder as 0, I can say if the year is divisible by 4, it will be a leap year, otherwise it will be a ordinary year. So divisibility by 4, आपको पता होगा, if you have learned about the number system and if you know the divisibility concepts. So divisibility by 4 says you just need to divide the last 2 digits of any given number. So you need not to bother about the whole number, just divide the last 2 digits and check. If the last 2 digits are divisible by 4, the whole number will be divisible by 4. So 56 is divisible by 4, and that's why 1956 will be divisible by 4, and hence it will be a leap year. So this is the concept actually. Okay, so how to check a non-leap year, sorry, a non-century year is a leap or not? Just divide it by 4. If you get remainder at 0, you will say this is a leap year. If remainder is not 0, it will not be divisible by 4, so it will be an ordinary year. Okay, but the same rule is not applicable for the century years. For century years, we divide the year by 400. And why so? You can ask me the question, why we are dividing it by 400 in case of century year. So this question will be answered in the due course of time. In my further video, I will answer this question once we are clear with the odd day concept. If I odd day मैं तो पढ़ा दूंगा, so आपको ये clear हो जाएगा कि why I am dividing it by 400 years. 4 का तो clear है ना सभी को? Why we are dividing it by 4? It should be clear to all, because every 4th year we have one extra day, and that one extra day is added to February, and that's why it becomes a leap year. So that's why we are dividing by 4. So this concept is clear, but why we are dividing by 400, this will be clear when I discuss the topic of odd day. So for the time being, just take this as I'm saying, for century years, we just need to divide the years by 400. Like if the year is divisible by 400, it will be a leap year, otherwise it won't be a leap year. So century year, take any century year, let's suppose I have taken 1600. 1600, I will divide it by 400. So it is divisible by 400, that's why it will be a leap year. Let's take 1800, it's a century year. I divide it by 400, it's not divisible by 400, and that's why it's an ordinary year. 1800 is an ordinary year. Let's take an example of 1900. I will divide it by 400, it's not divisible by 400, and that's why it's an again ordinary year. It will be an ordinary year. So all the years, all the century years that are divisible by 400 will be leap, otherwise it will be an ordinary year. So just to summarize the concept, how to check whether an year is leap or not, very quickly, revise with me. If it is a century year, you divide it by 400 and check. If it is a non-century year, you divide it by 4 and then you check. Okay, so very quickly, let me take you to some quiz, you can say. Very quickly, you can answer some of the question. Let's suppose I ask, tell me whether 2016 is a leap or not. So it's a non-century year. First you will check whether century or non-century. So you clearly see it's non-century, divided by 4. 16 is divisible by 4, hence it is a leap. Let's take an example of 1980. Again, it is divisible by 4, so it's a leap. Example of 2000. So 2000 is a century year, that's why I will divide it by 400. It is divisible, hence it's a leap. Let's take an example of 1500. Again, it's a century year. I will divide it by 400, and it's not divisible by 400, and that's why it's not a leap year. It will be an ordinary year. So now I think it is very clear to all of you how to check whether an year, whether it's a century year or whether it's a non-century year, whether it's a leap or not. So there are different rules for these two. Okay. So moving further. See, now I'm going to introduce the concept of odd day. Just I will brief about this. What is odd day concept? Okay. So odd day concept actually comes from the concept of week. Okay. In a week we have 7 days. So actually the days that are beyond 7 days, or days that are not fitting into a cycle of 7 days or cycle of week, are known as extra days. And these extra days are known as odd day. Okay, let's suppose for an example, I take 20 days and I ask you how many odd days will be there in 20 days. How many odd days will be there in 20 days? So we can clearly see in 20 days, you will complete 2 weeks and plus 6 extra days you will be having, isn't it? You will be having 6 extra days and 2 weeks. So these 2 weeks are complete, but 6 extra days are still remaining in 20 days, and these extra days are nothing but the odd days. इन्हीं को हम odd day कहते हैं. It's nothing like a rocket science. ऐसा नहीं कुछ odd day में कुछ नया चीज बताऊंगा मैं. And because we have just 7 days, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and up to you can say Saturday, we just have 7 days. So 7 days के अलावा जो extra days बचेंगे उन्हीं को odd days कहते हैं. If I ask you how many odd days are there, in let's suppose 31 days. So you can clearly see in 31 days, you will be having 4 week plus 3 extra days, isn't it? 4 week मतलब 28 days हो जाएंगे plus 3 extra days. So these 3 extra days are nothing but the odd days. So you will say in 31 days you have 3 odd days. Similarly, in 20 days you have said that there are 6 odd days. So there is one simple funda to find. If any number of days are given to you, let's suppose n, and you need to find how many odd days are there, just divide n by 7 and check the remainder. So whatever remainder you are going to get, that will give you the odd day. वही remainder आपको odd day देगा. Let's suppose I need to find how many odd days are there in 50 days. What I'm going to do, I will divide 50 by 7 and I'll see the remainder. So the remainder is 1. Okay, if you divide 50 by 7, you see the remainder is 1. So there is one odd day in 50 days. So I hope the idea is clear. So if you are dividing any number by 7, again I'm using the concept of number system. You should be thorough in the number system. It is very useful kind of topic and has been extensively used. So number system अगर पढ़ा है तुमने, तो you know if you are dividing any number by 7, the remainder that you can get is from 0 to 6 only, isn't it? You divide any number, any large number by 7, the remainder that you can get will be lying between 0 to 6. So odd days can only be between 0 to 6. There can be either 0 odd day minimum, or there can be maximum 6 odd day. It cannot be beyond 6. Okay, you cannot get any odd day beyond 6 because the week is only of 7 days. अगर 6 से ऊपर जाएगा तो एक week complete हो जाएगा. So we will not getting any odd day there. So 6 से ऊपर जाएगा तो फिर से आप 7 से divide करके आप निकाल लोगे आंसर. Okay, so I think the odd day concept is being clear to you.